Hello, dear ones. It's me again, Katerina Mestre. Hope you're doing fine. But if you're not doing fine, I've got, a couple of interesting things to share with you today. So, one of the things, people are dealing with, all your daily struggles, your problems you need to solve, because either you don't have enough money or, you're struggling to find a job or, your bills are stacking up, and you don't know how to solve all these issues. Let me tell you something quite elementary here, that fear destroys self-confidence. Worrying about bills that you can't pay, if you can't pay the rent, about, problems that you can't solve immediately and so on, that really, really gets you down. And it pulls you so down that your confidence, your self-confidence is at an absolute low level. So make yourself a priority in your life. And even if you're broke, even if you're struggling, and even if you're weak, think of this, strength arises amid the storms and obstacles of life. And you want to be a strong personality, don't you? You want to create strength out of nothing. Because in the quantum field of your consciousness, you are capable of creating all this strength. You're capable of creating an entirely new identity in your life, a positive identity. And it is created in your consciousness and in all the feelings that you want to nourish that are also positive, that should come forth into your life, in your heart. Now, your heart, has 60 times more emotional vibrations and strong vibrations than anything else, in your chakra and in your aura and in your energetic field. Think of that 60 times, at least 60 times more. So, if you consider yourself a wonderful being, if you have enough self-confidence, if you want to build up this self-confidence, look at yourself once again carefully and consider building up a positive identity. And this new positive identity, lacks all kinds, of depriving things that you don't want to have in your life, right? So meditation is a good tip. I'm, trying to tell you this because I always meditate, mornings, in the mornings and in the evenings, because this is what really, really strengthens my self-confidence. It really gets me to the point of believing, that I can fix anything, I can create anything wonderful I would like to. If I work, if I continue believing in it, if I continue nourishing my heart energy with this self-confidence, with this new identity of knowing that I'm self-worth, that I'm worth being here on earth and all these positive things. And this is what I want to share with you today, that every single one of you is a wonderful being, and you wouldn't be here on earth, if God wouldn't want you to be here on earth. So obviously, given the fact that it's that way, you are already chosen and so very much loved and special. But, don't let all these obstacles, worrying, accumulate to such a point that your positive identity dissolves completely in this negative field you are feeding, with worries, and troublesome energy and all that. You want to create something wonderful in your life. And you can do this, in your subconsciousness by visualizing, creating a consciousness field. Yeah. You envision this consciousness field that is so positively built up in your mental creativity with all the wonderful things you want to manifest into your life, that with time and with practice, with daily practice in your meditations, this field, this quantum field, will certainly collapse into your 3D reality. And you will see synchronicities, occurring. You're going to meet people suddenly who are so important for your own spiritual and emotional and development. Yeah. So believe in that. Jesus Christ already said, in starting to believe in all the wonderful things that you could create in your life, That, is where you expand in your existence, in your consciousness, and in your heart field of emotions. So use your potential, because you do have this potential, these, this creativity of in visualizing things, of, meditating, of feeling, these, all these emotions, joyful emotions in your life, And if you practice this every day, try not to allow interferences into your life, try not to allow an interference, worry to worry is a very strong interference, feeling troubled, is a very strong interference, Clear the space here. Enter this room, which is basically empty in your quantum field of creation, in your consciousness, and feel it energetically, with all the visions, all the emotions, of joy, all the positive encounters, and situations you would like to have in your life. If you practice this on a daily basis soon enough, you are going to find so many positive changes in your life. So many synchronicities are going to happen, things you never expected would ever be able, to manifest themselves into this 3D reality. Because, the consciousness field, is basically starting from the 5th D reality upwards, into 6th, 7th dimension. But you are going to be able to create this positive change in your mind. So this is just a short reminder, to tell you that you are the creator of your own reality. And don't let yourself be drained by all the negative news, and all these negative thoughts everyone else has, or the fears, people have about this and that, but create your own space of peace, love, tenderness, loving feelings towards yourself, because that creates a positive identity. And then by practicing this in your meditations every morning, every evening, whenever you would like, you're going to create a positive field of reality, which is going to collapse into this 3D reality. And you are going to see wonders happening into your life. So this is my message for you today. Have a lovely day. Blessings to you all, and see you next time. Bye-bye.